In the verdant outskirts of a small rural town, where the chirping of crickets often mingled with the whispers of the wind, an extraordinary event unfolded under the canopy of stars. It was here that Ellie, an astrophysics student with a wild curiosity about the universe, set up her small array of telescopes and sensors, hoping to catch a glimpse of a comet passing close to Earth. As the digital clocks ticked closer to midnight, the stillness of the night was shattered by a bright flash in the sky. A streak of blue and silver cut through the heavens, descending rapidly towards the Earth. Ellie's eyes widened in amazement and a touch of fear. She instinctively took a few steps back as the object landed with a soft thud in the clearing ahead. Cautiously approaching, Ellie saw that it wasn't a meteorite, but a spacecraft of some sort. Its design was sleek and unlike anything human-made. As she neared, the hatch opened with a hiss, and out stepped a figure that took Ellie's breath away. The being was about her height, with a slender build and skin that shimmered like opal under the moonlight. Its large, almond-shaped eyes, glowing a gentle amber, scanned the surroundings before settling on her. "Hello," the creature said, its voice melodic and oddly comforting. "I hope I haven't alarmed you. My name is Kira." Ellie, though taken aback, found her voice. "Hi, I'm Ellie. You're an alien?" Kira tilted her head, a universal gesture of curiosity. "Yes, from your perspective, I am. I come from a planet we call Saranis. My mission is to learn about Earth and its cultures." "Why here?" Ellie asked, her scientific mind buzzing with questions. Kira's luminescent lips curved into a smile. "Your broadcasts reached us, intriguing tales of human life. I wanted to see it for myself." As they talked, Kira became fascinated with everything from Ellie's smartphone to the simple daisies swaying in the night breeze. When Ellie explained that she was studying the stars, Kira's eyes lit up with shared enthusiasm. "It's my passion, too. I studied cosmic phenomena back on Saranis. But tell me, Ellie, what is it like living on Earth? What do humans cherish the most?" Ellie thought for a moment. "Well, many things, but love and relationships are really important to us." "Love?" Kira seemed puzzled. "We do form bonds, but our methods might be different. How do humans reproduce?" Ellie blushed, a bit taken aback by the straightforward question. Well, through a process involving two people. It's very personal." Kira's curiosity deepened. "Fascinating. How does it work? Can I try it too?" Ellie coughed, her cheeks redder than ever. "It's not something you just try. It's about emotions, commitment. It's special." "I see, or rather I don't fully see, but I would like to understand," Kira admitted, her tone earnest. Seeing Kira's genuine curiosity and innocence regarding human ways, Ellie decided to offer a compromise. "Maybe we start with something simpler. Like, how about I show you around? You can meet more people and see how we interact." "That would be delightful," Kira agreed enthusiastically. So, under the starlit sky, Ellie began to introduce Kira to the wonders of Earth, from its simplest joys to its complex emotions, unknowingly setting the stage for a series of events that would change both their worlds forever. As the first rays of the sun painted the horizon with streaks of orange and pink, Ellie and Kira ventured into the heart of the town. The streets were quiet, with only the occasional early riser out for a jog or walking their dog. Ellie decided to take Kira to the local diner, a staple for breakfast and morning gossip. Inside the diner, the aroma of coffee and sizzling bacon filled the air. Kira observed everything with wide-eyed wonder, her gaze lingering on the interactions between people. They chose a booth by the window, and as they sat, Kira leaned in, whispering, "Do all humans consume nutrients in gatherings like this?" "Pretty much," Ellie chuckled. "It's a social thing as much as it is about eating." They ordered pancakes and eggs, and while waiting, Ellie explained the basics of human nutrition and culinary preferences. Kira listened intently, occasionally pointing to items that other patrons ordered, asking about their composition and purpose. As they ate, the conversation drifted to human relationships. Kira was particularly interested in the nuances of human emotions and how they influenced social bonds. "On Saranis, our relationships are more pragmatic. We bond over tasks and shared goals. Your concept of bonding over feelings is intriguing." Ellie found herself explaining things she had never put into words before, like the thrill of a first date or the comfort of a long-term relationship. "It's not just about survival or logic for us. It's about feeling connected, feeling loved." Kira pondered this as she tasted a pancake, her expression thoughtful. "And is it common for all humans to seek such connections?" "It varies," Ellie replied. "But yes, most look for someone special at some point in their lives." Their meal concluded with more questions from Kira about everything from movies about love to how holidays celebrated relationships like Valentine's Day. Ellie promised to show Kira a movie later, thinking something classic like Casablanca might give Kira a taste of romantic human culture. Post-breakfast, they strolled through the local market. Vendors hawked fresh produce, homemade goods, and colorful flowers. Ellie introduced Kira to Mr. Jacobs, the elderly florist, who gave Kira a rose. "To remember your visit by," he said with a wink. Kira sniffed the rose, then asked Mr. Jacobs, "What does this flower mean?" "In our culture, it's a symbol of love and passion," he explained with a gentle smile. As they left the market, a group of children playing soccer in a nearby park caught Kira's attention. They approached, and soon Kira was awkwardly attempting to kick the ball back to the laughing kids. Ellie watched, a smile playing on her lips as Kira interacted with the children, her earlier reservations melting away under the genuine warmth of human kindness. As the day faded into evening, Ellie felt a profound connection not just to Kira but to her own world, seeing it through the eyes of someone who found wonder in the mundane. Kira's endless questions and her ability to find joy in the simplest of things reminded Ellie why she loved astrophysics. The universe was full of wonders, waiting to be appreciated and understood. In the cooling twilight, they headed back to Ellie's home, where they would watch that movie. As the stars began to appear in the sky once more, Ellie realized that introducing Kira to the human world was not just about answering her questions. It was about showing her that amidst the vast complexities of the universe, simple connections could be the most profound. The flickering light from the old projector cast a soft glow in the living room, as Ellie and Kira settled in to watch Casablanca. Kira was immediately captivated by the black and white imagery and the melodramatic music that seemed to underscore every human emotion displayed on screen. "What are they feeling?" Kira whispered during a particularly intense scene between Rick and Ilsa. "Love, loss, conflict," Ellie explained softly. "This film shows how complex human relationships can be, how our choices are often influenced by our feelings." Kira absorbed every scene, every exchange with rapt attention. By the time the credits rolled, her mind buzzed with new concepts of human loyalty, sacrifice, and the bitter sweetness of unfulfilled love. "Humans often make decisions based on emotions rather than logic," she asked, trying to piece together her observations. "Exactly," Ellie nodded. "Emotions can guide us or haunt us. They make our lives both rich and complicated." They spent the rest of the evening discussing the movie and the different cultural artifacts Ellie had around her home. Each item, from simple decorative trinkets to photos of family and friends, seemed to hold stories of connections and memories. The following day, Ellie took Kira to the university where she studied. The campus was bustling with students, which offered Kira a new environment to observe human interactions. They attended a lecture on cultural anthropology, where Kira learned about the diversity of human societies, their customs, and how culture shaped their understanding of the world. After the lecture, they visited the lab where Ellie worked. Here, surrounded by telescopes, satellite imagery, and charts of star systems, Ellie felt in her element. She showed Kira the equipment used to observe celestial phenomena, explaining how technology helped humans reach beyond their planet to seek understanding of the cosmos. Kira, in turn, shared more about Saranis, describing her people's advancements in technology and their philosophical approach to the universe. "We seek harmony and understanding, blending science with our spiritual views of connectivity among all beings," she explained. Their conversation deepened, touching on the nature of consciousness and existence. Ellie was fascinated by Kira's perspective, which was both alien and insightful, challenging her own views on the universe. As they left the lab, a sudden downpour forced them to seek shelter under a nearby archway. Standing close, watching the rain, Kira seemed contemplative. "On Seranus, we control the weather. I've never just watched a storm before. It's one of those things we learn to live with," Ellie said, watching the raindrops splatter on the pavement. "There's a beauty in the uncontrollable aspects of nature." Kira nodded, her eyes reflecting the stormy gray skies. "Much like human emotions," she mused. Their discussions continued over cups of hot cocoa at a campus cafe, delving into philosophy, art, and human history. Each topic unveiled more layers of the complex tapestry of human existence. Kira's questions never ceased, and Ellie found herself challenged and invigorated by the need to articulate concepts she had always taken for granted. As the day turned to evening and the rain cleared, a rainbow arched across the sky. They watched it from the cafe window, a symbol of the fleeting, beautiful intersections of light and water. Ellie smiled at Kira, sensing a shift in their connection, a mutual understanding and respect that transcended their different origins. "That's another thing about humans," Ellie said. "We find hope and beauty in the simplest things." Kira's response was a soft, thoughtful look, a silent acknowledgement of the shared moment. As the rainbow faded, so did the barriers between two vastly different beings, linked by curiosity and a newfound friendship. As Ellie and Kira continued exploring human culture, Ellie planned a visit to one of the city's most renowned art museums. She wanted Kira to experience the visual and emotional impact of art, which she believed was one of the purest expressions of human emotion and creativity. The museum was a grand edifice of stone and glass, its halls echoing softly with the footsteps of its visitors. As they wandered through the galleries, Ellie pointed out various art styles and periods, explaining the historical and emotional contexts behind the works. Kira was particularly drawn to the Impressionist paintings, with their vibrant colors and dynamic brushstrokes capturing fleeting moments in time. "These images, they're so alive, as if the emotions of the artist are speaking directly to me," Kira observed, her eyes reflecting the vivid blues and gentle yellows of a Monet. "Yes," Ellie agreed. "Impressionism is all about capturing a feeling, a moment, more than the precise details. It's about evoking emotion rather than replicating reality." They moved through galleries showcasing modern and contemporary art, each piece provoking discussions about human society, the concept of identity, and the existential questions that artists wrestle with. Kira was fascinated by a sculpture that seemed to twist endlessly into itself, a visual metaphor for the complexities of human psyche. Art is a lens through which we can explore the very essence of being human, the struggles, joys, and infinite complexities of our existence, Ellie explained, her words intertwining with the themes of the artworks around them. As they exited the museum, the impact of the art lingered in their minds, prompting deeper reflections on their own natures and the universe. They sat on a nearby park bench, surrounded by the bustling sounds of the city, yet isolated in their bubble of newfound insights. "It's intriguing," Kira started, her tone contemplative. "How humans use art to confront and communicate their innermost thoughts, almost as if you are constantly seeking connection, not just with others, but with yourselves." Ellie considered this, nodding slowly. "I guess that's true. We're often trying to understand ourselves, and sometimes it feels like we can only get there through expressions like art or music." Their conversation was briefly interrupted by a group of street performers nearby, their lively music filling the air with a robust, joyous energy. The performers, a mix of instrumentalists and dancers, pulled the passers-by into their act, creating an impromptu community of viewers and participants. Kira watched, her fascination apparent. "This music, these dances, they change the air around us, don't they? It feels different here, almost like the vibrations are altering our own energies. That's the power of art in any form. It changes spaces, changes people, changes atmospheres," Ellie replied, her eyes alight with enthusiasm. "Just like those paintings, This music stirs something inside us. As the performance ended, the crowd dispersed, leaving a lingering sense of shared experience. Ellie and Kira continued their walk, discussing the potential for art to bridge different worlds, perhaps even as a form of communication between Earth and Saranis. Maybe, Kira mused, we could create a new form of art, something that blends human and Saranian perspectives, something that could express the union of our cultures, our philosophies. Ellie smiled at the idea, excited by the possibilities. I love that idea. It's a way to show that despite our differences, we can create something beautiful together. With the city lights twinkling against the twilight sky, the paths before them seemed imbued with the potential for collaboration, understanding, and the exploration of new frontiers, both creative and interstellar. The idea of a collaborative art project sparked a new wave of excitement between Ellie and Kira. Over the next few days, they sketched out concepts, combining elements of Earth's artistic traditions with the alien aesthetics of Saranis. They envisioned an installation that would use light, sound, and interactive elements to communicate the universal themes of connection and understanding. They decided to present their concept to Professor Hammond, the head of Ellie's university's art department, who was known for his support of innovative and interdisciplinary projects. In his office, surrounded by books and sculptures, they laid out their plans. Professor Hammond listened intently, his eyes occasionally widening with interest. "This is a fascinating concept," he said, leaning back in his chair. "Art as a literal bridge between worlds. We've seen international collaborations, but interstellar? This is groundbreaking." Encouraged by his enthusiasm, Ellie and Kira explained the technical aspects they envisioned. "We plan to use holography and spatial sound design," Ellie said. "The installation will not only be seen and heard, but felt. Vibrations that resonate with the frequencies Kira described as common in Saranian art. And," Kira added, "these elements will be responsive to the audience. Their movements and interactions will alter the art, making each experience unique and demonstrating the dynamic nature of communication and connection." Professor Hammond nodded thoughtfully. "What you need is a platform, a venue that can accommodate such an ambitious project. And funding, of course. Let me make some calls. I believe this could be something for the annual Cultural Arts Festival. They're always looking for something that pushes boundaries." Grateful for his support, Ellie and Kira left his office feeling hopeful. They spent the next several weeks refining their design, working with both human and, through Kira's connections, Saranian engineers to ensure the technology could be implemented effectively. As the project took shape, news of the interstellar art collaboration began to spread, drawing interest from the media, the art community, and those simply curious about this novel endeavor. Interviews and articles highlighted the upcoming installation, raising public anticipation. Finally, the day of the festival arrived. Their installation, named Resonance, was set in a large, open hall, bathed in the soft glow of shifting lights. As visitors approached, sensors detected their presence, triggering changes in the light patterns and emitting low harmonic tones that filled the space. The effect was mesmerizing. People moved through the installation, watching in wonder as their motions created ripples of light and sound that interacted with those of others. Laughter and awe mingled in the air as children and adults alike danced through the beams, watching their movements paint the space with color and sound. Ellie and Kira stood to the side, observing the joy their creation inspired. "It's like watching a new form of communication unfold," Ellie remarked, her voice full of wonder. Kira nodded, her eyes reflecting the myriad lights. "It's more than I hoped for. Seeing humans and Saranians, even in conceptual form, interacting like this, it's a proof of concept that understanding isn't bound by form or origin." As the day turned to evening, the crowd thinned, leaving a few stragglers who lingered, reluctant to break the spell. The festival organizers were thrilled, confirming that Resonance had been one of the most popular attractions of the event. "It's a beginning," Kira said quietly, as they started to power down the installation. "Maybe one day we can bring this to Saranis, show my people what I've learned here." "I'd like that," Ellie smiled, squeezing Kira's hand. "I'd like to see Saranis, too." Under the now darkened lights of their project, the possibility of further exchanges, cultural, artistic, even personal, seemed not just likely, but inevitable. As they left the hall, the installation stood silent and dark behind them, a temporary monument to the potential for unity and diversity, waiting for the next day to come alive once again. As the success of Resonance echoed through the community and beyond, Ellie and Kira found themselves at the forefront of a burgeoning movement, one that advocated for deeper interstellar cultural exchanges. Inspired by the universal appeal and transformative nature of their project, they started planning a series of installations across various cities and potentially other planets. The next few months were a whirlwind of activity. They traveled to conferences and symposiums, discussing their work and its implications for human and alien relations. They met with artists, scientists, and diplomats, weaving a network of supporters enthusiastic about fostering interspecies understanding through art. One chilly autumn morning, they received an invitation that would elevate their project to a new level. The United Nations, intrigued by their initiative, asked them to speak at a special session focused on extraterrestrial cultural integration. It was an unprecedented opportunity to share their vision on a global stage. Standing before an audience of world leaders, scholars, and media, Ellie felt a surge of nervous excitement. Kira, beside her, seemed composed, her serene demeanor belying the significance of the moment. Ellie took a deep breath and began their presentation, explaining the concept behind Resonance and its successful debut at the festival. "As we stand here today," Ellie said, gesturing to the images of smiling faces and vibrant lights displayed behind her, "we see more than just an art installation. We see a gateway that opens possibilities for how we might communicate, understand, and even coexist with beings who share our universe but not our origin." Kira took over, her voice clear and compelling. "On Seranus, we believe in the harmony of knowledge and experience. What we've achieved with Resonance is a synthesis of both, a fusion that transcends the visual or auditory to touch upon the fundamental desire of all sentient beings, to connect, to be understood." The speech was met with enthusiastic applause. Discussions followed, with several countries expressing interest in hosting Resonance. Meanwhile, back on Seranus, news of Kira's endeavors sparked a similar interest in Earth's culture and the potential benefits of such exchanges. With the UN's endorsement, Ellie and Kira established an initiative called the Cultural Exchange for Universal Harmony, CEUH. Their first major project under this initiative was to set up Resonance installations in major cities around the world and plan for the first off-world exhibit on Seranus. As the project expanded, so did their team. Artists, engineers, and cultural theorists from Earth and Seranus collaborated, each bringing their unique perspectives and skills. This blend of ideas and talents led to innovations in how the installations could be adapted and experienced, not just by humans and Serenians, but potentially by other extraterrestrial civilizations in the future. Months turned into a year, and the day finally came for the inaugural off-world exhibit. Ellie, accompanied by a delegation from Earth, traveled to Seranus. The planet was breathtaking, with vast landscapes of bioluminescent flora and intricate architecture that mirrored the sophistication of its inhabitants. The Serenian version of Resonance was unveiled in a grand ceremony attended by thousands, both Serenians and visitors from across the galaxy. As Ellie watched the crowd interact with the installation, she felt a profound sense of accomplishment and wonder. Kyra, standing beside her, smiled, her eyes reflecting the myriad lights of the installation. "Look at what we've created, Ellie. A bridge not just between two cultures, but potentially among many. This is just the beginning." As the celebration continued into the night, the lights and sounds of Resonance filled the air, a symphony of unity and understanding. Ellie looked up at the stars, thinking about the endless possibilities that lay ahead. They had created something special, something enduring, a testament to the power of art as a universal language, a beacon of hope and connection in the vast expanse of the cosmos.